Hi everyone. I've heard from Mim Headroom. I think he was talking about this book being really bad. I haven't seen any video reviews of it yet, but oh my gosh, this I knew this issue was going to be horrible because it was the coming out issue that they've been building to for 4 issues. He's finally coming out to his parents in issue 5, and I knew it was going to be terrible, but I had no idea how bad. So to start off, this book, so there's actually a really cool redesign of the Juggernaut armor. I actually think it's my favorite redesign. I don't know who made it or where it comes from. If it's original to this comic, please tell me. I actually like this artist, Alessandro Vitti. Really good, but wow, this book, I just gotta get into it because there's so much bad stuff. Like, I don't want to miss anything. So first of all, they mentioned my boy Zach. That's right, I'm in a Marvel comic. But Cena Grace is a terrible writer, so he keeps introducing this character and then forgetting about him for a couple issues and then bringing him back. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So we get these two random girls who are bragging about like hooking up to get over a guy. So a guy dumped her, so she hooked up with 2 guys, and that's, I don't know, fight the patriarchy. Anyway, it starts off right away. So every SJW book, by the guy, I love this costume. This is the best Juggernaut costume ever. Please tell me where this comes from. If it's original to this one, OMG, I'm gonna scream, as Bobby Drake would say. Anyway, SJWs don't like comics, so they write them all like Disney tween sitcoms. So then Juggernaut comes up and he says, "Which way to the turtle pond?" while holding a map of Central Park where the perspective is off. The perspective of the world goes like this, but the perspective of the map goes like this, because morphing stuff in Photoshop is hard if you have Photoshop 1.0 from like 1992. So then we meet Bobby Drake's parents, who both look like testicles. Or I'm sorry, I don't like to be blue, but no, they don't look like testicles. They look like scrotums. Here's the horrible thing. We've met these characters actually several times before, and they've been shown to be salt of the earth, good people. Mom's like a roast master. The dad's kind of like a badass. He like faked a heart attack to like punch some like young guy, attacking the family household. So in true bad writer fashion, it takes 5 issues to get to the coming out. Now you might say, oh, they were doing other stuff, but they weren't. Because the only reason this book exists is because Bobby Drake is now magically gay, and the writer is gay. Literally everything is gay. Freaking Will and Grace looks like an episode of like an HBO war miniseries compared to this. It is so fruity and embarrassing and stereotypical. So in 2017, this is the look that Bobby's, 79-year-old parents. So Bobby's supposed to be about 30? His mom had him when she was 51. But anyway, yeah, this is their completely normal human reaction to finding out your 30-year-old son is gay in 2017. This is stupid. The title of this video is ICEMAN 5 is worse than you can possibly imagine. But my original title, when I was reading this, is that ICEMAN 5 proves that SJW Marvel is not just a bad company, they're actually bad people. There's something wrong with these people. There's something wrong with Cena Grace. To look at humanity like that, there's something missing in your soul, or you just don't have one. Like, this is a fetish. Cena Grace has a coming out fetish. And it's just like, when you're young and you get into fights, you imagine fights before you get into them, and they're always like something out of the movies. You decisively destroy the other guy. Everyone sees it. You're awesome. Everyone's laughing at him. You don't get in trouble, or you get in like a little bit of trouble, but it's kind of like cool trouble. And then you get in fights in real life, and they're nothing like that. There's no clear winner. Either no one gets in trouble, or you both equally get in trouble, and then you and the guy just get in a fight like 8 days later, and then you become friends like 3 weeks later. But Athena Grace, who is go ahead and Google him, a cartoonish, embarrassing gay man. And I'm saying that he's embarrassing to other gay men. I live in the gayest freaking neighborhood in possibly the world. My neighborhood's so gay that things that aren't even gay are gay here. Like the gay clubs overflow. So like the Subway sandwich shop next door becomes like a de facto gay club because nobody, the fire marshal won't let more people into the gay club. But they're like humans, they're normal people who work out a lot and make a lot of money and walk their dogs. They're not these 1990s sitcom cliches, and they don't have parents like this. Now, maybe the oldest guys in this neighborhood, when they came out to their parents at the age of 18, and it was like 1970, they might have had this reaction. Bobby is in his 30s. They are in their 100s. This is none of this makes sense. None of this is real. His parents should be about 50, not 80. And even nobody has this reaction. That might be the reaction your soul is having, but it wouldn't be the reaction your face was having. And again, it's the exact same. So he comes out in the worst, most, first of all, disrespectful and inappropriate and shallow, stupid way. So the dad says, "You're kidding me." And then this is what he says in his freaking romper. "I'm gay. Dude for dude. I want to go on dates with men." So actually, maybe their faces are appropriate. They're like, "We didn't realize our son was this much of an immature idiot." Like, who comes out like this? First of all, what 30-year-old comes out to his parents in 2017? What 30-year-old comes out to his parents in 2017 and they have this reaction? What 30-year-old comes out to his parents like this? This isn't even like sitcom language. This is literally like alien language. So then he says, "Are you sure?" And then Bobby flips out and he says, "What kind of stupid question is that?" Well, the reason he says, "Are you sure?" is because you've been straight for 60 years of publishing, and you're effectively straight until basically last year. So in real time, you were straight until about 4.5 weeks ago. So he's justifiably confused why his straight son, who's been dating women and acting masculine his entire life, suddenly, 4.5 weeks ago, started acting like a character out of Will and Grace, wearing a romper, and saying, "I'm gay, dude for dude, I want to go on dates with men." So then it becomes the most cliche coming out story you've ever heard, like straight from the 90s. He's like, "What kind of stupid question is that?" Because I thought, hey, genius idea. Let's make life more interesting, and turned it on with a switch. No, you didn't turn it on a switch. Jean Grey did. Then she says, "Don't talk to your father like that." She should have said that right here. That's completely inappropriate. "If what you're saying is true," there's no if, Mom. Well, actually, you only became gay 4.5 weeks ago, so maybe it is a big if. Maybe one of the multiple villains who can control minds has done something to you. Or maybe a teammate who can control minds has done something to you. So then Jean Grey is here for no reason at all. They dated a while ago. She's now transitioning to be a man. So she's dealing with her own stuff. She should be telling her parents that she's transitioning. So then Scrotum Mom says, now again, they've been shown to be very normal people. And all of a sudden, she's calling the X Mansion and the X-Men Kitty knows. Does everyone at the circus know? Then, look at this. Kitty is pretty much the same age as Bobby. She now looks like a boy. And then she's also kind of barely been in the scene, but then he kind of ushers her out. And then, watch. "This is your fault, William. There aren't any gays on my side of the family. Muties and queers, they must come from you. This isn't on me. Again, it's 2017. This does not happen. Cena Gray is kind of hard to tell what age he is. I'm guessing he's late 30s, maybe older. Again, this is like a 1980s coming out of the closet. So he's flashing back, and he even says in the letter column, it's based on his coming out in Friends. But the problem is that society has progressed. This does not seem real at all. It seems, the main thing it seems to me is incredibly insulting. Cena Grace is a gay man. He's basically looking gay men look like absolute clowns, and it happens on every page. You're both acting like it's the end of the world. You see me risk my life time and again, and this is sparking a bigger reaction than any war I've ever fought. Then his dad, who says, 'cause this time you're actually dead. Then Kitty says, and I'm out. Again, this is a leader of a superhero team who should be mature, good leadership. First of all, this might actually be the time to come back in and say, yeah, just a minute. You're out of line. And then she just bails. I'm like out. And then, what was that? Then he goes, you're dead to me because you're not going to have grandkids. You want to touch other men. You're never going to leave this stupid school and grow up to have your own life. So where's the Bobby Drake we raised? Our son's dead. The ICEMAN mutants. Well, actually, Jean Grey won. Jean Grey killed your son. She mind-wiped him and turned him into her own purse puppy for her own weirdo reasons that nobody can figure out. So then another one of the effeminate male X-Men comes up. And this is a legitimate character. It was like Grant Morrison era. Kind of fell off, but I didn't like him, but he was a good character. Like, he was well-rounded. So then he does like, OMG, like, I'm totally hearing it coming out. This is so retro. Actually, that's not what he says, but it would have fit the situation. He's just kind of making fun of it. So then, this is great. He goes, please, Bobby, this doesn't make sense. Why can't you just stay with women? You had so many girlfriends. It doesn't make sense. You were straight until 4.5 weeks ago. He goes, don't you wonder why none of them stuck around, Mom? Get it? If you break up with women, that means you're gay. And then she goes, then she asks if he slept with a woman, and then he's like, yes. And then, this is just dumb comedy. Meanwhile, we get a girl that's been introduced, and her superpower is to be absolutely disgusting. She spits and her saliva turns into a solid object. Again, this is a pattern. Feminizing men, masculinizing women, no heterosexual relationships, and women have to be gross or lesbians. Let's not even get into how inappropriate this kind of thing is for a teacher to do to a student. And then she almost killed this guy, but it's funny because he's a man. Your aim is true. And then okay, so this is my favorite page because sorry, I don't have socks on. So then Scrotum Mom says, have you been with one? And then he goes, one what? She goes, a man. And then he goes, not yet. And she goes, oh, thank God. And then so did I. Okay, so first of all, God, there's not enough time in 20 minutes. Everything is bad. I'm only like 6 pages in. Anyway, he came out to his parents before he's even acted on his magical gay impulses that showed up in his life 4.5 weeks ago. This is not just inappropriate, but it makes no sense on a human level. He's never done anything with a man. He hasn't even been on a date with a man, yet he's coming out as being gay. Not bisexual, gay. Entire life of dating women, having girlfriends, sleeping with them. Never did any of that with a man, but he's discovered he's not bi, he's gay. Again, this is agenda. SJW Marvel is a political entity. They're not about making money. This is not making money. This is losing money. Then we find out the Juggernaut's attacking the X-Mansion because the X-Men, whatever that, the teenage version. So anyway, this one part made me laugh. He's like, good. Unless you people think I need to embarrass myself more, I've got someone's ass to kick. So, oh yeah, so this makes no sense. So Kitty's like, hey, the Juggernaut's attacking, but it's no big deal. No, wait. Kurt, Peter, and Rachel are going to steer him away. So Phoenix, Nightcrawler, and Colossus, who has no powers, are going to steer him away. That's a fairly good team. But then he goes, no, I'll handle it by myself. Because I've got someone's ass to kick. So then the Juggernaut's out there. He's angry, and then he's like, well, that team you're looking for, they're in Madripoor. So they get in a fight. The funny thing is that it's not that bad of a fight. It's actually a pretty good fight. The problem is that, like I said, Bobby is a completely new character. We've never met this character before. He's not someone coming to terms with a lifelong homosexuality that he's hiding. He's a completely different character. Like the father said, and is right, Bobby's dead. He said Bobby's dead, Iceman 1, but it's Bobby's dead, SJW Marvel 1. So then they give this letter, and in the letter, Bobby expresses himself like a human being, not like a character from Will and Grace. So that part's actually okay. And the fight between Juggernaut and Iceman is actually pretty solid. It comes out that he really is an Omega level mutant. He does a good bait and switch where he, tricks him with an ice sculpture of himself, but he's really over here. He freezes him, shoots him into the Hudson, and then have his ice golems like basically swim him away indefinitely. But he has to finish it with a bye to show that no matter how well he acquitted himself as a hero, he's still an effeminate, cartoonish parody of a gay person. So then he comes back and Scrotum Dad is kind of calmed down. He says, they both say I love each other. After, for no reason, kind of out of nowhere, Bobby's like, oh, I can also turn into vapor form, but I don't want to do it. It's like, that really had nothing to do with anything in this book. And then we get the Cena Grace saying this coming out story was based on his experience of friends. I can't find the spot. But then we get this delightful picture of Iceman being the most cartoonishly, effeminately gay. Like I said, this is not Bobby Drake. This is some other character. But it didn't have... The virtue signal was not strong enough to just have it slowly reveal that he's bisexual. He needs to be not only 100% gay, but he needs to be a complete stereotype of a gay person. So, and I forgot that since they mentioned that he's never been with a man or been on a date, we've seen what the next 5 or 6 issues are going to be. It's going to be his first date, his first kiss, his first sleeping with the guy, his first boyfriend. It's literally shouldn't be called Gay Man. It shouldn't be called Iceman. It should be called Gay Man or Ice Gay. That's it. This is not a superhero book. This is a insulting book towards gay people and humans in general by a weirdo company of SJW virtue signalers who are just bad. They're just bad people overall. And then, of course, someone asks, since Bobby's a gay now, they have to say, when is North Star showing up? And then it's like, they have to discuss whether they're going to be in a romance, because you have 2 gay men within 10 feet of each other. They're just going to go into a bathroom stall, because apparently that's what gay men do. Oh, look. It's nice rosy lips. Oh, boy. Anyway, so this is awful. I want to rip it, but yeah, I'm ripping this thing. Yeah, I kind of one over there and one over there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Make sure you're subscribed. I got a lot of new comics at the comic store. So tell me what you think about this video and what they've done to Iceman. Tell me where the real Iceman is. And thanks for everyone giving to the Patreon. It's actually been really improving lately. And I'll probably have one more video up later today.